Hello world, today at Genergy on the ground we are going to answer as always those questions that appear out there, those doubts. Look, they say power stations shut down when they don't have a charge. For example, if I plug it into a refrigerator that is stopped sometime and running some other time, sometimes someone says that the station turns off or when we have very little charge. Today we're going to learn two things. How to keep it from turning off. Today we will talk from 10:18 a.m. to 30:40. I am missing this series. Here are 4 units. There would be 8:24 p.m. We are going to talk about those, but we are also going to talk about the consequence. What happens when we do that now will not be extinguished with what I am going to teach you, but there is a consequence to this act, okay? We are going to learn those two issues. Well, without further ado, before addressing this matter, I want to leave you here a small reflection of mine. Look, there is a word that, as they say now, scratches me a little. Scratches me. Yes. And it is the word that you have to earn a living. You have to make a living. What are you going to do? You have to make a living. You will have to do something to make a living. That word that crushes so many. And I mean when one is born. He's already made a living. What you have to do now is live life. To live life, you have to do something that helps you live it. I'm not telling you not to work on things that you may not like. Maybe so, but I think we all have a little hero inside us. Who completes this universe, who is capable of doing something better than another person. Someone else can do something better than you. That is to say, we have to look within ourselves, as Plato said, to know ourselves was to take from the inside out to give to others. Well, I think at that time, when one is living that life, doing whatever you do, driving a truck, working in a workshop, in a supermarket, whatever, you have to be really looking for what you're passionate about. And it's not about destroying the job I have. It's not about destroying the family, about changing, going to the Amazon. It's about integrating. That is, I find what I'm passionate about or what I like, and apart from the work I do to pay for that and that, I feel good because I do something I'm passionate about. It seems almost unbelievable what just happened. Visiting a nursing home for a family matter, I encountered a man painting. I approached him, admiring his work, and said he must be a professional artist. He shook his head, explaining he had been a truck driver all his life and never had time for painting before. And yet his talent was undeniable. His journey shows we shouldn't delay pursuing our passions. Imagine all the time in the world to dedicate to what you love. You must carve out that time and pursue your passions wholeheartedly. Don't postpone. Embrace life, follow your passions, and share them with others. True fulfillment comes when you find happiness within yourself and continue spreading joy to those around you. Well, yes, it's true. When a power station has been running for some time, if I don't connect anything to it, it turns off. We are going to see how to avoid that, and by avoiding it, we are going to see what the consequences are. Well, first of all, if I connect this power station there, it is just like I just did. When 1 hour has passed, it will disconnect if I turn it on. The USB socket is no longer going to turn off. But if I turned on the AC here, it's on. If I don't connect anything to the AC with the USB, the station doesn't turn off. But the AC output does turn off because I don't have anything on. The converter turns off. For what? Well, so as not to waste the battery unnecessarily. Let's see how I do it in this power station. In this, as I say, it is 10:18 a.m. 3:18 p.m., 8:24 p.m. and 30:40 for these stations. The process is the same, okay? Well, I'm going to turn it off and explain it easily. It's off there so that the power station doesn't turn off for me. I do the following. We squeeze power to turn on the station. There I'm squeezing. There was a beep. Now I count Hengen 1, 2, 3, well 10 seconds, and when 10 seconds have passed, it's worth voting, and there the station will no longer turn off when I turn on alternating current. Okay, we repeat it in this one so we can see it. Sure, again I'm going to turn on my station so it doesn't stop, so it doesn't turn off. Okay. Pulse beeps, and now I count to when 1, 2, 3. Well, I wait those 10 seconds to let go, okay, and now I let go. There it turns on, and when I turn on the alternating current will no longer be disconnected, having done this process that I just explained to you, and that's how we will do it in both 1018H, as I say, 1518H, 2024H, which is this station that you are seeing now here, which is the same format, and 3040 in these 4 units. This is the process. We will explain the process in other stations another day, but these are this process in these stations. I said it had a consequence. What consequence? Look, right now the inverter is consuming power from the station, that is from the station's accumulator. If I plug something in here like charging a cell phone, which is 5 watts or something small, something that consumes little, what is going to happen is that it is going to consume it internally more than even what I have placed or pairs. Or little more about the outside than the inside. But those consumptions are going to add up. But for me, the reading you are going to give me here is going to have a lag, and it is going to tell me that I have X battery time left when my station is going to be paid for, damn it. But if it said that there was 25% left, why has it been paid? In fact, I turn it on and it tells me that there is 25%, and I plug in anything and it will immediately turn off. But if it has a battery, why does it turn off? Well, because there has been internal consumption. The BMS has not really done that RS that should be able to be done, and is simply showing us something that is not true. What am I supposed to do? Put him on 100% charge? And when I finish charging, he is going to realize, she is going to realize, the BMS is going to realize that it was really empty, and then let's say set the counter to 0 and we do the process again. That is with little load, right? Let's hope this goes to 0 here. When it turns off, it will turn off sooner, and it will be telling us that it has a charge and it will have turned off. The question of why this happens, I just said, is the gap, that is. It is an internal consumption that is small, but that is not taken into account externally. Okay, this is what usually happens in energy stations when little is consumed and acted in this way, that nothing happens, but let us know that this is the case and that the only thing we have to do is recharge it. Alright, well, that's all. For more information, in Genergy.es, here you can see the entire range of energy stations, and in the resolution videos that you have there, you can see this type of advice, and that we have already talked about on other occasions on the channel about this topic and others, that you can go and solve your problems. Agree, and any questions, our telephone numbers, those of my colleagues, our email are at your disposal for any query you wish to ask us. Here's a counterintuitive tip. Cease learning completely and see what unfolds.